Everybody. My case study was Why Won't Simon Listen from pages 4 to 10. This was the first case study in our book. Simon is 3 years old. I am interested in working with early intervention kids, so I thought this would be the most appropriate for my future practice. So just some background on Simon. Like I said, he is a 3-year-old child who lives with mom, dad, his brother, and sister. He was a normal developing child, hit all of his milestones appropriately, and mom and dad did not see a problem until he began going to a child care center part-time when he turned 3. The behavior is primarily physical aggression and is happening mostly in the home and not so much at the child care center. So like I said, the physical aggression is the specific target behavior that we're looking at. I picked this as it's Simon's most frequently occurring behavior, and it's also the most detrimental to him, not only being a danger to himself and others, but also inhibiting his ability to create social bonds with others, learn new appropriate skills, and those kind of behaviors. The primary function of this behavior is escape from task demands. So getting his shoes on is difficult for him, going to the table for dinner. And a secondary function is access to tangibles, as he has a really difficult time putting his toys away and listening to others. He is hitting other kids to gain access to toys, etc. So the first intervention I would put in place is functional communication training. This is always my first choice so that kids can appropriately express their needs and wants. This is defined by assisting children learning an appropriate way to communicate via vocalizations, AAC devices, or PECS, the Picture Exchange Communication System. For Simon specifically, I would choose a vocal approach as he does have several words. An example of functional communication training is Simon being able to say break, or 1 more minute, please, when a task demand is being asked of him, or he's trying to gain additional access to his toys. So if he is asked to put his shoes on while engaging in play with siblings, he could ask for 1 more minute. If he is asked to do another activity and just needs a break from the task, he's able to ask for a break and then complete the task demand. A non-example is Simon simply screaming and mom allowing him to escape that task. While screaming is vocal, it's not exactly the appropriate communication that we're looking for. I would pair this with simple escape extinction with response blocking, which is defined as reinforcement being withheld until that task is complete, and just blocking any attempts of physical aggression so that Simon stays safe, his mom stays safe, his siblings stay safe. So an example of this is Simon often will lay on the floor and kick. So mom is just going to simply create some distance between herself and Simon so that he's unable to reach her to kick her. Another example would be just putting her hand out and then allowing him to put his shoes on prior to picking out a toy to bring into the car on the way to school. A non-example is Simon hitting mom in the face and then mom putting shoes on as a consequence to that behavior and allowing him to have the toy anyway. Data collection is obviously one of the more important things in our field. So because there's no technician or anything that's going to be working with Simon directly, parents are going to really take on this intervention plan. And so to do that, they're also going to take ABC data 1 time weekly to continue to identify that this truly is the function, and that by utilizing these interventions, that data is decreasing the behavior. BCBA will go out and also collect data to ensure that the behavior is decreasing, which would occur 1 to 2 times weekly for 30 to 60 minutes. And family training will also be implemented so families can express any concerns and BCBA can continue educating them on the situations that come up. So if we look here, Simon was engaging in 2 to 3 instances of baseline a day, and we had the goal to get him to engage in physical aggression 1 or less times per week. So in looking at the data, it appears that that has decreased significantly with little variability. So it appears that the interventions are working. And these are the resources, Classic Cooper and Miltenberger. Always been helpful. So thank you so much. Make it stop.